Hulu dropped the Season 5 trailer this morning, and it ends on a date, September 10th. 5 episodes, not 10, 5. And here's the part nobody has said out loud yet. Every single frame of Taylor Frankie Paul in that trailer was already shot before March 19th. Before the video, before ABC pulled her Bachelorette season 3 days out from its own premiere. Hulu is about to air a version of this woman that, in television terms, does not exist anymore. And they are charging you nothing to watch it. So let's talk about what that trailer is actually doing, because it is doing something very deliberate. Start with the number that gives it away. 10 episodes is what this show does, every season. Season 5 gets 5. TheWrap reports the order was halved because production was paused during the domestic violence investigation. Read that again. This is not a creative decision. This is a show that ran out of footage because the cameras stopped rolling, which means the 5 hours you get in 2 weeks are functionally a time capsule. Now here is how she got in it. Rewind to 2022. Taylor Frankie Paul is a Utah mom on TikTok with a following and a divorce announcement. In that announcement, she describes an arrangement inside her friend group. The internet renames the whole friend group overnight. MomTok. That is the scandal Hulu bought. The show does not exist without it. That is not shade. That is the premise. 4 seasons later, she is the center of the biggest unscripted hit on the platform. And ABC is watching. And I mean watching in the boardroom sense. This show turned a Utah friend group into appointment television for a streamer that badly needed one. The Bachelorette, meanwhile, is 22 seasons deep and hunting for a lead who shows up with an audience already attached. Because in 2025, they hand her the rose, Taylor Frankie Paul, lead of The Bachelorette, season 22. Hold on to this next part, because it turns into the whole question later. She did not walk in there with a clean file. Her 2023 case had been charged, reported, and resolved in open court years before ABC ever handed her that rose. She films the whole season, start to finish. It is edited, promoted, scheduled. Premiere date set for March 22nd, 2026. It never airs. Here is the clinical part, and I am going to keep it clinical. On March 19th, 2026, TMZ published a video recorded back in 2023. NBC News and Today reported it showed an altercation between Paul and her then-boyfriend, Dakota Mortensen, and that her daughter was present. I am not describing it further, and we are not showing it. What I will give you is the court record, because the court record is the only thing that is settled. For that 2023 incident, she was charged with assault, criminal mischief, and domestic violence in the presence of a child. Court records reported by NBC News show she pleaded guilty in abeyance to an aggravated assault charge in August 2023. The other 4 charges were dismissed with prejudice. A plea in abeyance is not a conviction. It is a hold. Meet the conditions, the charge can come off. Say it correctly or don't say it. And carry this one at full volume, because it is in today's reporting too. TheWrap says the domestic violence claims filed against her this spring have since been cleared. Now, the corporate move. Hours after TMZ posted, ABC pulled the season. A Disney Entertainment television spokesperson said, quote, "In light of the newly released video just surfaced today, we have made the decision to not move forward with the new season of The Bachelorette at this time, and our focus is on supporting the family." 3 days before air, an entire finished season of network television, shelved. Which brings us back to this morning. NBC News ran the fallout under the headline, "Bachelor Nation Erupts." A fan base waited a year for a season and got told it does not exist. And there is a whole cast of men sitting in that footage. The Hollywood Reporter ran an entire piece on what the men of her season have been saying since. They shot a full season of network television the public will probably never see, which is where that loop from earlier finally pays off. If the record was already public when they cast her, what actually changed in March? Read Disney's own sentence again. In light of the newly released video, not in light of the case, in light of the footage. That is a sentence about optics, and they wrote it themselves, because Hulu did not shelve theirs. Hulu cut theirs in half and scheduled it. So what are we actually getting? The Hollywood Reporter frames it plainly. The trailer teases the lead-up to her Bachelorette season being pulled. Deadline reports the season shows her facing the backlash and Jen Affleck confronting Whitney Leavitt. ABC7 Los Angeles called it MomTok drama in overdrive, and they are not wrong. The trailer opens on cast member Macy Neely saying there is so much that the public still does not know after the situation spiraled out of control. That is a promise. That is the entire pitch of this season in one sentence, and Hulu put it first on purpose. Then castmate Jesse Draper describes Paul and Mortensen as Romeo and Juliet in the TikTok age. And per TheWrap and E! News, the trailer shows Dakota Mortensen revealing he has her initials tattooed inside his lip. Inside his lip. I am going to let that sit there for a second. Us Weekly and TV Fanatic carried the trailer within the hour too. 6 outlets on a trailer before lunch. That is the appetite we are dealing with. Meanwhile, TheWrap reports Whitney Leavitt is leaving to chase theater and film. She has a Broadway debut in this season. Miranda Hope and Chase McWhorter's divorce is still running. Jesse Draper and Jordan Ngatakara have separated. And Michaela Matthews says she is at her boiling point after her own separation. 5 episodes. All of that. Outlets covering the trailer also report the series has been renewed for another 20 episodes, with cameras already rolling again. So the machine did not stop. It paused, it halved the order, and it restarted around her. One honest note before I hand this to you. There is no fresh statement from Paul or from Hulu in today's trailer coverage. TheWrap's write-up carries neither. Everybody is reacting to the footage. Nobody is talking, which is its own answer, honestly. So here is my question, and I genuinely want yours. September 10th, Hulu hands you 5 episodes of a woman filmed before the worst 2 weeks of her public life. Is that documentary, or is that a network monetizing the exact thing another network refused to air? Because ABC had a finished season and buried it. Hulu had a half-finished one and put a date on it. Same parent company, same story. Opposite calls, 2 weeks, 5 episodes, one woman who has not said a word about any of it. Tell me which one of those you think ages worse. I'm reading the comments on this one. Subscribe, because September 10th is going to need a follow-up.